One of the most popular koi varieties since the existence of koi is the Kohaku. And today this variety still dominates on koi shows around the world, dragging in the biggest prizes. This variety is a very elegant one, and it only has two colors. The snow white body with deep red markings make it a beautiful yet simple variety. A variety that is part of the Gosanke group, together with the Showa and Taisho Shanshoku, or in short, Sanke. In this video I will explain you everything you have to know about the Kohaku variety. You will learn the basics about this variety, characteristics you have to pay attention to, and some fundamentals you have to know when selecting a good Kohaku. And of course that all combined with some great video footage of good Kohaku for you. Just sit back and enjoy 8 minutes of Kohaku. You might wonder what makes a good Kohaku. Well, that is a bit more complicated than you might imagine at the first place. There really is a lot involved here, and it surely is not only about a great looking pattern. The body conformation has to be great as well as the quality of the Kohaku itself. But before we dive into the details, first, what actually is a Kohaku? A koi that has a white base with red markings on it is called a Kohaku. In Japanese, these white areas are named shiroji, which simply means white in Japanese. The red areas are referred to with hi, which simply means red. What makes this variety unique as well is that there are many names for different patterns that are used on Kohaku. To give a bit more background, the red markings are called hi plates or hi dan. And dan here means marking or step. For Kohaku, every unique pattern has its own name. A Kohaku with 2 steps, for example, is called a ni-dan Kohaku. Ni stands for 2 here, so simply a 2-step Kohaku. When you can count in Japanese, you can now already classify some of the patterns. There is ni-dan, san-dan, yon-dan, go-dan Kohaku, simply referring to 2, 3, 4 and 5-step Kohaku patterns. And then there is Inazume Kohaku, for example, which means lightning bolt. It is a red pattern that appears as a lightning bolt on the back of a koi. And it is also part of only one big red step. Then Menkaburi Kohaku means that the red pattern lays over the head of a koi. A bit less appreciated by judges, but it can give a special appearance. And a famous Kohaku is the Taisho. This Kohaku only has one red round marking on the head area. It should lay exactly between the eyes, and many people refer to it as the Japanese flag. Everyone wants a Kohaku with a bright future, so what are my recommendations to look for? I have created several videos where I explain with examples of good and bad Kohaku what you should aim to look for. This video aims to give you a summary of the key elements and characteristics that I would recommend you to look for on a Kohaku. The first key step that I recommend you to look for is to pay attention to the hi areas. These are the red areas. Hi should be thick and bright, but more importantly, what you want is that it is soft like velvet. This type of soft red is a bit lighter colored and not intense dark red. It is more stretchable, and therefore when a Kohaku grows, it stays in a good form on the fish. Other things you have to pay attention to is that the intensity of the red areas is at the same level over the entire body of the koi. The pattern should have sharp lines and sharp edges, and you surely do not want any vague orange or light red areas. While the pattern of a Kohaku is also a bit more of personal nature, as everyone has a different taste, the placement of the hi areas is quite important. Make sure that the red pattern lays nicely between the eyes. There should preferably be no red overlapping the eyes, and you do not want the red in the fins, including the dorsal fin and the tail. Also, the red pattern should not go below the lateral line on the side of the koi. That means that you do not want the pattern to go below the line towards the belly. Third element is that the white base will give contrast to the red markings. So the wider the base of a kohaku is, the more beautiful its appearance will be. So simply said, buy a white kohaku, a snow white kohaku. Maybe you did not know, but also a koi can have freckles. We call these shimmies. It are small black spots that appear anywhere on the skin of a koi. And this happens a lot to kohaku, even when these are of very high grade. And you don't want them. For many koi hobbyists, these black spots can ruin their koi. Sometimes you can't help it, but you simply don't want to get kohaku that already show black spots appearing. The last key element that I want to share for kohaku is the body. And not the body posture, this is important for any koi variety. I want to zoom in on a pattern detail of kohaku, the odo. This explains a detail about the last part of the body, just before the tail. And this area can make a kohaku look powerful. And there is one way so that it gives a strong appearance. A thick tail area. When the last part of the body before the tail starts is white, it gives a kohaku a big upgrade in body posture. The kohaku will look stronger, more elegant, and it will be as if the body posture is huge. A good odo means the red pattern stops at exactly the right place, just before the tail starts, leaving a small area of white. Many people ask if it is possible that the red color on a kohaku develops itself, or that more red can appear on a kohaku. The answer is that this is not the case. While I do know that many of you would have liked to hear yes, it is very unlikely that red develops on the white body. Lighter orange areas on a kohaku will usually become white over time. Or they will always stay light orange. It will always look like faded he or red. For that reason it is also important to select kohaku with bright red colors. It should not indicate or show any weaknesses in the red areas. It should be solid and consistent all over the entire fish. Now it is your turn. Let's bring your new knowledge into practice. What is your most favorite kohaku out of these 6? In a few seconds you will see all kohaku numbered. Leave your most favorite kohaku in the comments and provide your arguments why that is your most favorite choice. And of course I would like to thank you for watching, and I hope to see you back in one of the new videos.